Hello, everyone. Welcome to something a little bit different today. I'm going to share with you a photographic experience I haven't had for over 10 years. Before I do that, a note, I will leave chapter markers in the description below if you'd like to jump ahead. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share a little bit of backstory, some lessons learned, and then the photos themselves. So here we go with the backstory. So when I was in my 12 or 13, late 70s or so, I really got into cars. I really enjoyed them. I liked the whole thing. I read Motor Trend, Car and Driver, Road and Track, all those magazines. I think we got into it on a road trip. I picked up a magazine at one of the hotels we were staying at, and the rest is history. So I was really into cars for a long time. I could tell you the differences. I could spot them from a mile away, know which one was that. So that continued. I really like cars. I tended to like the faster cars, sporty cars. That's changed in my later life. I now have a Subaru Crosstrek, which is a very practical but fun car. Anyway, so related, this is how it relates to what I'm talking about. When I got back into photography in about 2010, 2011, one of the places I could go to create photos of interesting things was a local car show. So there was a drive-through restaurant called Triple X Root Beer in Issaquah that would host car shows on most of the weekends from spring through late fall. And so I'd pick a weekend and I'd probably go maybe 5 to 10 times each year and photograph the car shows, because I like cars. So most of these car shows were geared towards classic American cars, classic cars in general. So again, it's, my generation cars I grew up with and things I was really drawn to and had some nostalgia about. So combine that with photography, it was a neat recipe, I think. But what I learned while photographing the cars was how difficult it is to just go stand with a camera and make an interesting photo. So that's where I started developing my style of photography, which is to lean into composition, even though you have an interesting subject in front of you, and find the photo that creates the mood you're trying to get at, tells the story. So what I mean by that is, if you've ever been to a place with lots of cars where it's a car show, it's hard to photograph. There's lots of stuff going on. The cars are pretty close together. There's people all around. There's often buildings, trees, power lines, all the things that aren't the car. So what I started doing was focusing on details of cars, maybe headlights, taillights, logos, trim, bits and pieces, or just a part of the car, a portion of the car that I could isolate from everything else. So that leaned into my minimal aesthetic that I enjoy, that leaned into simplicity, that leaned into being able to make a photo almost anytime I want when I go into a place with interesting things. So that all happened, and I really enjoyed the process, and it really informed my photography going forward. That whole looking for the composition, finding it in the midst of what looked like an easy photo to make, finding the photo that worked for me. So I stopped going after about 5 years. So somewhere around 2016, I think I didn't go as regularly, just got busier with things, other stuff happening on weekends, so it was harder to go. And then about that same time, there was a new car show starting up in Redmond Town Center called Exotics at Redmond Town Center on Saturdays, which I thought, oh, that's neat. But I never went. I'm not really big into exotic cars just because it's not what I grew up with. So I had never attended one of the Exotics at Redmond Town Center car shows until my coworker, Heather, invited me. And we went a couple Saturdays ago, and I had a really good time. There were very fancy cars, and it was fun to remember how I used to photograph cars, combine it with a little bit I've learned in street photography, looking at the people photographing cars too. So doing a little bit of combining both worlds. It's a huge show. There were probably, on that weekend I went, about 150, 200 cars, at least as many people, maybe 400 or 500 people. It was busy. So again, got to lean into finding the photos that tell the story of the car, not the car show necessarily. So it was fun. Although my knees are not in the same shape, and neither am I, that I was in 2015, 10 years ago. Anyway, so I'm learning things. So that's my lesson in all this, and my takeaway and suggestion to you as you think about maybe something you used to photograph, enjoy photographing, and haven't done lately. Think about why you enjoyed it in the first place. How could you maybe revisit it and combine it with the things you've learned in the interim? There's always new things to learn, synthesizing things from one area to another. It's kind of been the story of my life. So learning how to synthesize, integrate things from one part of a creative experience to another part of a creative experience. So have fun with that. I hope you enjoy that. I had fun at the car show. It was interesting. I got some really neat photos, got to talk to some people I really enjoyed, which was a good time. We enjoyed it so much that at Kenmore Camera, if you live in the Seattle area, we're going to host a meetup at the Exotics at Redmond Town Center on July 19th. That's the Italian car show day, the Italian cars. So I'll leave a link to that down below, the Eventbrite description for that event. If you want to join us, feel free to do that. So that's what I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've got a slideshow of some of my favorite photos from the day coming up here, so I hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching. If you have comments, suggestions, as always, please leave them down below. I look forward to having conversation with you. So until I see you in a future video, I hope you stay safe, stay well, and have fun creating photos. Bye for now.